on South London Network. If I leave that S in lowercase letters, it's going to drive everyone potty, isn't it? Today you'll be taking 1 Juliet 25, 11:45 London Victoria to Crystal Palace. Please release the doors to allow the passengers to board. Our scheduled departure time is 11:57. The doors open. Oh, we're on a lighting. We are on the wrong lighting. There we go, we now have the right lighting. Oh, Gatwick Express. Fantastic. Oh, I'm already liking the AI in this scenario. Doors are shut and we may now depart. Next stop is Balham. I've had this problem before, haven't I? You've got to put the throttle on. That's it. You put the throttle on and then the brakes come off. Why aren't the brakes? There we go. Now the brakes are off. That's better. Alright, 60 limit. Speed reduction warning. Balham is our next station. Rogue driver. Where we're going, we don't need no guard. It's almost stopped at the 3-4 car stop, sort of. There it was, there, back there somewhere. Green lights, I don't need DRA. Doors open. Hey there, Daniel Sergeant. Squirrel Squad. Welcome, sir. Oh, I need a... Is Squirrel raiding us? No, Squirrel's in RAF, or ready for RAF Cosford. Doors are shut, we may now depart. Next stop is Streatham Hill. Clearly need to set notches up for this one to work properly. Okay, 50 limit, dropping to a 40 and then a 30. Next stop is Streatham Hill in 1 mile. Welcome to the stream, Daniel. Good to have you with us. Ready for the 30 limit. Yeah, the... I'm just going to use the keyboard. I need to set notches up for this thing. It's not working without them. I must admit, I do like South London Network. It's a really nice route. It's a lot of short journeys, isn't it? Really. Let's get a little bit of speed on so that we can get back to the next station. Great time for my telly to pop up saying it wants to turn off. That going off as well. Jeez, everything happens at once. So is anybody else mad enough to go to this Jubilee line opening night tube thing, or does everybody else just think I'm crazy? I wouldn't disagree with you. Here we go. Stopped a little bit before the 4 car, but we stopped. Oscar, any engine requests? What I would say is have a look at the how many spreadsheet and look at Loco's trains that we haven't used in a while or haven't used very much of. That would be the best thing. Like the high mech, for example. I think I've only ever run that once, which is a crime. So, a high mech on Riviera line or something. Doors are shut, we may now depart. Next stop, West Norwards. Door interlocks come on. $50 miles an hour, double yellow coming up. Should you get the South London Network on the NSC Class 415? It's probably a decision for you to make rather than me. And given I work for Dovetail Games, who you'd be buying it off, probably shouldn't answer that question. If you're asking me personally, then yes, I think they're actually really awesome. But given that I work for the company that makes it, that's probably not good advice. Do I ever do more than one American scenario? I do sometimes. The problem is it's so easy to find British scenarios to run, and less easy to find the American and German scenario, particularly the German scenarios actually, not so much the Americans. What makes the American scenarios harder to find is that they're quite often really long. Or very similar to the last 14 American scenarios that I've run. Like it's challenging to find a variety of scenarios. So, and this is only a short one. So this is a 20-minute scenario. So the next scenario I'm going to do is in a 1-hour scenario. Why aren't the brakes applying? Oh! No idea why the key wasn't working, but we got stopped in the end. I think I know what's causing it. It's because I'm running Synergy, and to get the mouse off the screen I move it to the right hand side, except that the right hand side is a different computer. No, I don't have a PO box. No, Daniel, I need to fix that. I keep saying I'm going to fix that and I don't. For the time being, I would suggest send anything to the Dovetail office just to mark it for my attention. Yes, you did, Flying Scotsman. Isn't a PO box expensive? I'm not going to go with the PO box. We have these. One of the storage places around here has got a and they're called suites, as in SUITE, and you can rent one of those, and it's like a virtual office suite, except it's a cubby hole that they put your mail in, and it's a lot cheaper than a PO box, and basically works exactly the same. I went as far as finding out all the information and thinking, yeah, I'll do that, and then that was about as far as it got. Woohoo! That's not too bad. Yes, Eurostars used to go into Waterloo. If you look at Waterloo Station from above on Google Maps, you can see there's a part of it with really long platform, really long canopy over it, and it looks different to the rest of it. Those were the Eurostar platforms. Homebound train? No, I haven't yet. It's in my bag, ready to be watched. I might try and watch that tonight, actually, because I've not got anything else to do after that. Oh no, I'm going out tonight. The doors are shut and we now depart. Next stop, Gypsy Hill. It just never ends at the moment. What I think I'll do is I'll rip it to Plex, and then I can watch it on my phone when I'm at my mum and dad's. That's what I'll do. I'll put it on Plex, that way it's on my phone. Problem is, I'm not around a DVD player very often. I want to watch it because it looks good. Right, next signal is red. Let's try and get it right this time instead of slamming the brakes on. Why were Eurostars going to Waterloo? That was where they originally built the line to. They couldn't get it anywhere else, so they had to bait. So I can't remember what the junction was. Lucas owner would know if he's still around. Nope, looks like he's gone. So there, they would come off the main line and off the high speed line in the UK and switch over to slow tracks and just run slow third rail tracks into Waterloo. And then later on they built High Speed 1 in the UK, which went straight to St Pancras, and that was when they redirected the Eurostars to go that way. Yellow light. What am I going to do after the night tube? I'm going to go to sleep. It'll be about 3 o'clock by the time we go. Yeah, Waterloo would be good, wouldn't it? No argument there. It's a tricky station to do, but at this point, trickier stations have been successfully done, so... There's Gypsy Hill. We're doing alright on the timing, actually. Just let it roll up to the end of the platform. We've got loads of time. Whenever you hear Waterloo mentioned, you immediately think of ABBA. Me too. It's going on there right now. Amazing. Pound of chicken. I must admit, I've got no idea. I'm really bad about the price of shopping. I put stuff in the basket, I pay the bill at the end. I never actually look at how much individual things cost, which seems like a stupid idea. The doors are shut, we may now depart. Next stop is Crystal Palace. Right, we are off for Crystal Palace, which I believe is the end of this little scenario. Which is, I've really enjoyed it actually. Oh, we did have occasion to, when we were in Asda recently, we bought them. They saw a deal that was like, buy a pack of 10 Duracell batteries and get another pack of 10 free. We thought, wow, we'll get some of that. So we did. And the shopping bill seemed a bit higher than we were expecting at the end of it. And we checked on the receipt. And sure enough, we hadn't got our free batteries, which worked out to quite a bit of money. So we went over to them and yeah, it turned out it was a different type of Duracell battery. So they fixed it. And just said, you know what, have the ones that you've picked up, we'll just give you the refund. Yeah, too right you will. James, you're enjoying the stream? Good, good. I'm glad you are. Thanks for letting me know. Bound for Crystal Palace. Any trucks tonight? No, I'm not going to run the trucks tonight because we're going to go to London to ride the first Jubilee night tube. Woohoo! So yeah, no trucks tonight. Will there be no VTEC rolling stock? Well, there certainly can't be at the moment because, again, there's no license. Can't predict the future. What's a Jubilee night tube? So the Jubilee line underground, as of 1 o'clock this morning, they start their night tube service on it. So where they're, because normally about 1 o'clock was when the last train would leave Stratford. And it would shut the network until about, I think, 6 o'clock in the morning. Well, they're starting to roll out a night tube system now where they keep the tube open and run a service 24 hours a day. It's a quieter service on the night tube, a bit like the night buses, but it means there's a tube train every 10 minutes or so rather than there being nothing at all, which is fantastic. I know the number of times when I used to work in London that, you know, I would literally be having to curtail what I was doing at midnight so that I could get the train home, rather than you know, working even the sillier hours. I know it sounds really bad. I was struggling to get home at midnight, but good night, David. Nice work. Another driver will be shortly taking over, and they will be taking this service to London Bridge as 1 Papa 14. 12:30 Crystal Palace to London Bridge. Passengers are quite pleased with the journey. Awesome. Brilliant. Nice one, trackside. What were your work hours? My work hours were normal business hours, but I ended up having to do so much overtime that I'd get in there at sort of 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning and sort of be leaving there at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes, and having to get a taxi home or something. Which is starting to cost quite a lot of money. Fortunately, I was expensing it all, but still it was costing a lot of money. So costing someone a lot of money. Right. Moving on then, the next one. No southern passengers are happy with the journey. They're not used to a journey that's good, so they wouldn't know, I think, is part of the problem.